Hello, friends. Happy Saturday. This is Saturday, right? I think it's Saturday. Hi, Sonny. Happy Saturday.
Hi, Trenton. Happy Saturday. Are you ready for a really good race?
Sonny, these flags, you are never ready. You think you're ready. You're never ready.
This is true. This is very, very true. So, yes, Final Fantasy Randomizer Legends. We have Wilkliosis and Czar being the two racers for this specific episode of it. It's gonna be an interesting race, that's for sure.
So you see parties on screen. It's Will going with Fighter, Thief, White Mage, Black Mage. Czar going Thief, Fighter, White Mage, Black Mage. So exact same party compositions. Black belts are banned, so they couldn't do those if they wanted to. And thieves are getting boosted stats, so that's why you're seeing those instead of, say, a second fighter.
Yes, so why don't we go over that real quick? So the thieves, with their increased stats, they get double hit percent growth, which is extremely good for them. They have 80 agility to start with instead of its normal 10, and on top of that there's an increased hit percent cap. So with that increased hit percent cap, it can go all the way up to 250, which is going to be very nice. Can provide an extra hit when it is maxed.
Now, runners will generally be able to go through dungeons pretty quickly. They just have to find them and navigate through them. But encounter rates are going to be down like less than half. So we'll see them moved pretty quickly through dungeons whenever they are. Though they're going to be looking for places to get experience early enough to get the ball rolling. 3 times experience, though, is going to help that.
It absolutely will. On top of that, the encounter rates are lowered from that of the vanilla game. So the overworld encounter rate is 0.47 times, which means there's a 5 in 256 land encounter rate and a 2 in 256 sea encounter rate. And then the dungeon encounter rate is also lowered to be a 4 in 256. So every 256 steps, there will be 5 encounters in the cycle for the land portion of the overworld, 2 for the sea portion, and then 4 for every 256 steps in dungeons. What else do we have on, Trenton? I'm trying to remember everything off the top of my head. That's one to mention. We have entrance and floor shuffle on as well. So the entrances are going to be shuffled amongst each other. And if the entrances lead to dungeons of any sort, the floors will be shuffled amongst the entirety of the pool on that. So it's actually possible to go into an entrance and immediately run into a fiend. So, for instance, could walk into Canaria Castle and just immediately find Tiamat.
Count Shuffle is also on, so they'll be scattered. You know, you could go over to Provoca and see Melmond.
Exactly. The only town that is not in the shuffle is Canaria itself. So Canaria will be normal. And here's another big one to include. The vampire that normally attacks Melmond, as Melmond is normally the town that you see that is just looking in very poor shape, it's not a guarantee that Melmond is going to be in poor shape. It could actually be in quite good shape. Instead, we could see like Provoca be in poor shape, or Elfland, etc. So the vampire has affected a random town, and we will find out which town is affected as the seed goes on.
Still waiting to see things get rolling here, hopefully soon. Also throw in that treasures are randomized, so, there might be 8 ribbons out there instead of 3.
It's a possibility. You never know.
They also get to start with the Zeus gauntlet, so that's gonna alleviate the pressure of what magic you find early, especially for early game encounters. That Lit 2 is gonna do a lot of work.
Yeah, Lit 2, having that right off the start, even though it is a mid-tier elemental spell, it is still an AoE spell regardless, or a sweeper, if you will. So you might see some really good experience gain right off the start just with that.
The experience boost, we talked about it being 3 times, left off the part where it's plus 200, and I've always described that as helping the popcorn fights. When you face 9 enemies and you sweep them away with Lit 2, well, now you're getting 1800 experience, aside from the 3 times. But that 1800 on early encounters can easily outpace the 3 times.
So, fun fact on that plus 200 for you, Trenton, that's actually on the gold gain itself, not on the EXP gain. So, the EXP gain is going to be 3.5 times, but there is a secondary helper on the EXP gain, and that is with each key item that Will and Czar obtain, they will get an extra 10% EXP for each key item. And it is additive, it's not multiplicative. So at 2 key items, 20, 3, 30, so on and so forth. But the scary thing on this flag set, as you might be thinking, entrance and floor shuffle itself might be scary with towns shuffled amongst themselves. No, they have an alternate final boss turned on, and it is a random alternate final boss, and there are quite a few different choices for the randomizer with the alternate final boss. There's Double Dragons, which is a Carry 2 and a Tiamat 2. There's Fundead, 2 buffed Lich 2s and 4 buffed Phantoms, which is absolutely terrifying. Warmech and Friends, 2 Warmech, 6 Evilmen. Whack-A-Garland is Chaos and 8 Garlands. The Sahagan Wagon, which, if you are a fan of the Kraken boss, you would like the Sahagan Wagon. It's Kraken 1, Kraken 2, 2 to 4 Red Sahagans, and 2 to 4 Wizard Sahagans. It'll have 9 monsters total. And then the last one is the Snake Pit, which is Tia 1, Tia 2, 1 to 6 Asps, and 1 to 6 Cobras. Both the Sahagan Wagon and the Snake Pit will have 9 monsters total, and if any of the Fiend 2s roll nasty, it could be a bit of a struggle, even if Warmech rolls nasty, as that actually is the boss that pulls from the second set of Fiends, as well as Chaos's skill and spell lists. You could see some really, really brutal alternate final bosses from having an alternate final boss.
Yeah, when you start shuffling the scripts around, that can also make a huge difference. I mean, if you end up in a fight where 4 enemies have nuke that they're firing off at you, that's pretty hard to live through.
Indeed, and it looks like we are off. And, oh, item magic's on. So, that's that's fun to see, as we see that the Zeus bonk is instead a pure bonk.
Yeah, so scratch everything we said about the early lit 2. Quake, though, is a sweeper spell. That's not bad to find.
Quake, really good sweeper, actually quite useful for Lich, as Lich is susceptible to that specific spell, oddly enough. And you might be thinking, but wait, that's the Fiend of Earth. Why is the Fiend of Earth susceptible to an Earth elemental spell? And the reason is because yes.
Hey, look, Nasir gave us a great game. I'm not going to nitpick.
For sure.
Also, it was class change locked, so in the vanilla game, you couldn't get Quake early enough for it to matter. So it's like, wasn't really a point to setting that flag.
Exactly. And we have Tavern recruitment on, so a Red Mage could be hired to change either of these parties into a completely different party, which is rather interesting because you can just end up changing things on the fly. On top of that, you may have noticed that the overworld for this specific seed is not your normal overworld, and that is because procedurally generated overworld is turned on.
Now, with these shuffles, about entrances and floors, you have to be really careful about some of these locations. So, for example, this isn't just a town. This is an entrance that's blocked by Axiom.
Exactly. We see level 7 Fire 2 and Ice 1, and level 7 Exit and Heal 2. Level 7 Exit hurts just a little bit, but it is a very, very useful resource.
Hi, Warmack Floor.
You beat me to it.
It had to be said. Yes, so that's firmly on the list of things we're not ready for.
I mean, it all depends upon how long it takes to find and obtain the Brack spell. An Excalibur +6, and that's a saber sword.
That's really strong for early. Dragon's better, but having 2 weapons for 2 people that hold weapons is good.
So, I'm going to go ahead and ask you the question, Trenton, as looks like Will walks into LaFane.
Is the question Lupa?
Yeah, actually it is. No, the real question is, why is the dragon better?
Then Saber? Because it is.
So, the real reason on the dragon is because it actually has a higher crit rate.
That only matters for the one specific one where they're almost identical in stats, except the crit.
Pretty much.
But also with Blurst, it completely changes the equation, so +8 will often outpace a +6 if they're any kind of similar.
Exactly. Alright, so we see A-Lit, A-Mute. Was that some opal bracelets that I saw for sale?
Yes, you did. And Procade.
Hey, not bad.
And Dragon Armor.
Oh gosh, the shop's loaded. Gaia is very loaded here.
The runners need some money.
They really
and
do.
Last change. Actually, opal bracelets won't care, but if you want that dragon armor, which would be really good when you don't have ribbons.
Yeah. Wall level 8 feels bad, but it's not the end of the world. On top of that, Invis 2 level 8, kind of a bit of a shrug moment, just because...
It don't care because we got Invis sticks.
Exactly, and on top of that, the White Mage has buff magic. So, with the White Mage having buff magic, it will start with Invis 2 and Fast, which you may have caught over on Will's side. Fast in and of itself is...
Marsh Cave. There's some treasure here, and you've got Quake. I think this would be a good dig, Czar.
I think you're right. Fast is just a flat double on hits. Hey, another Saber Sword. All right. Looks like Will found this Marsh Cave, which looks to be either Earth Cave or Dwarf Cave.
This is bottom of marsh.
The color palette, though.
Yeah, probably Earth Cave's palette. It's a Sarda's. I think. Well, it wouldn't be a Titan's, so yes, probably a Sarda entrance.
Yeah, it's either Sarda or Earth or this color palette.
That's some lunch money.
11,000?
11K is not bad.
Yeah, 11K is pretty good to see. And there's pocket change compared to that 11,000.
If you can get out of here alive.
I think Czar is going to be good here.
Let's go back to town to revive, though.
Yeah, that's the only downside, but we'll see how it goes.
You may have noticed a disappearing bat. That's called NPC Guillotine, which lets us quickly remove them.
One of my personal favorites that has been added to the randomizer throughout the years.
You know, it's always weird to think of something that I saw added being long ago, but it really was.
I know, right? All right. Looks like Czar has returned here to Gaia. And, well,
I don't think you need any of those weapons.
There's a dead end for Will. And a Titan's tunnel.
Gonna need a ruby to see the other side of that.
Indeed. The question ultimately will become, where does that lead? And it looks like Will is going to give us a look here on the other side of everything.
I don't mind that. See if you can find some stuff that helps you dig more. I mean, I'd love to kill a couple enemies on the overworld that are easier and just take them out with Quake.
I mean, not if you find something with cremate.
I said something easy.
Exactly.
So when you turn script shuffle on, you get these enemies having things that they normally wouldn't have, and as I have always put that, do you want imps with nuke? Because this is how you get imps with nuke.
The good old days of nuke imps.
That became so infamous that I think they actually added a flag for it.
Yes, they did. And would you look at that? Level 2 white magic has been found as Provoke has been located. Fog 2, Cure 3, Soft. And there's Stun, Brack, Bane, Lit 3. So we could see a Brack or a Bane coming up against Tiamat 1. And that's a Katana +4 for sale, which is a pretty good sword for the ninja. But yet again, that requires promotion to get.
Yeah, that would outpace a vanilla Masamune. So it's pirate time. Only level 1, but they're pretty weak on base HP, so we should be okay here.
We're going to see Quake go out here.
And that's the disadvantage of not having any levels, is you don't have any spell charges for that Lit 3, which would be really nice here, because it would be a guaranteed kill of all of these.
But the nice thing about the pirates is they're low enough level that If you don't kill all of them, you're going to kill most of them and finish it up next round, which Will does there, and that's level 6 across the board.
And now you'll have lit 3 charges. Adamant, we have dwarfs. We found Dwarf Cave earlier, so that's a check you can turn in, if you remember where it is. That's always the gotcha with Entrance Shuffled. You just have to remember where it is.
Yeah. Well, that's an Invis shirt +3, a silver bracelet +6, which is going to be the equivalent of a gold bracelet +1. But the nice thing about any of the bracelets being plus is there will be 0 weight penalty on that specific piece of armor. Same with the shirts being plus. There will be absolutely no weight penalty given.
Goes up to level 6 now. That is helpful to get you going.
And it looks like Czar will have a few levels coming out of this fight. Good fight to take for some early levels. And that's level 4.
Getting a little more of the continent exploration. Bill has gone around seeing what there is to see. Underhill at the Oasis isn't telling us anything original.
Ooh, and that's a lot of water.
Yeah, so that western part was completely blocked.
And that is what procedurally generated overworld or procgen will do.
So it looks like Will figuring out where to go and or buffering because internet is a thing sometimes.
Yeah, you never know.
Zap also isn't a bad sweeper spell to have for free, but 17k is a little bit more than we can afford to spend on that right now.
Yeah. Though that is another weakness of Lich is the time element. Zap is an instant death time element AoE spell. And it's quite good to see. All right, Czar comes in with the lit 3 charges, has it queued up. Harm gonna be ineffective as there is no improved harm flag on, which is a flag that allows harm to hurt anything and everything.
If you're only used to later Final Fantasies, think Holy.
Yep. And there's the adamant for Czar as well. And making a move to pick up some houses, which I can always appreciate.
They do have the benefit of restoring MP, which is quite helpful when you're a long walk from town.
Very much so.
So I would wild guess Czar's going to want to go back and see what that adamant turns into.
I have a feeling that that's exactly what's about to happen.
Thing is, we know there's some kind of progress sitting out here that we don't currently have. It could be Ruby because we got that Titan's tunnel. It could be the boat because we've seen several docks.
It could be the canoe, as we've seen multiple river systems that split the first continent.
And it could be the TNT just to mess with us with lazy dwarfs.
Lazy dwarves, best dwarves. Alright, that's another pack of enemies down for Czar. And I believe it is time to go hunting for those dwarves. And there they are.
Hooray! It's like sea dwarves.
Trenton, you called it. Great call on that one, my friend. You double called it.
Hey, I just listed possibilities. I also said Ruby was a possibility.
Yeah, but you started the possibilities with the ship. That's amazing.
Hey, I have always said you kind of gotta try and read what the seed is telling you. Like, the seed keeps throwing docks at us. It's telling you you're going to need the boat.
It absolutely is.
I think this is Crescent Lake.
This is
It
definitely
wouldn't be a bad kill there.
Nah, this is definitely Crescent Lake area, but there is the boat. So with that, Czar is leaving the first continent, might be heading over to the second one.
And an even lower encounter rate on the sea than in the land. This is also a good chance to scout the land there and see areas you may not have been able to access before.
Exactly. And here we go.
This is probably Elfland. Or not.
Because entrance and floor shuffle, this ends up being one of the middle floors on the Kraken side of Sea Shrine that then leads into Matoya.
Working in the background to restore Will. We got Will and he's got a boat.
We do. Will is back with the boat, and not sure what all he has gotten in the meantime, but here is a Cardia treasure hole. This one specifically is the Cardia Grasslands treasury, so not a bad find.
Very important in the Pixel Remaster speedrun version because you need the complete heal that's in there.
It's an X potion in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That looks like it's the airship.
Yes, that is the Ryukon Desert.
Slightly reduced in scale.
Very much so. And hey, there's Melmond looking glorious without being destroyed. And gold bracelet plus 4s, those opal bracelet plus 1s are going to be better, but the gold plus 4s are a suitable alternative, and there it is, Trenton. Do you see what I see?
Let's see if I can channel my Wilcleosis here. The game changer!
There it is.
Will and Czar will both be wanting that Vorpal sword, especially +3. Also, we had an Aegis shield. I think it was +6. That's incredible.
We also have life 2 at level 5, which is huge. So
Not too much on the black magic, but that's okay.
it happens. And hey, here's Crescent Lake. With the Mystic Key for sale for 33,000, and there's Mirage Tower.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen anything that is key blocked yet, except the dwarf's treasury is key locked, But I don't. When I say that, I mean in terms of key items. So I don't think we've seen anything where it could have been blocking a key item.
Well, there is one loose key item, and keep in mind there are 3 boxes in Marsh that are key locked.
That's true. So we got the 2 spots that have something you could open with the key. And of course, it's required for the end game, anyways. But
Indeed, as there is one door in the Temple of Fiends Revisited that does require the Mystic Key, and it's the door right after the loot plate. Pure 4 at level 6, which is a little unfortunate having that in slot 2, as that is a promotion locked slot for white magic.
all right, confused old men are doing their calisthenics in the park. The funny thing is, NPC guillotine works if the NPC doesn't say a second message, but most of these say a second message. There's Crystal, which, as we see on Rocleo's side, does open something because now you can take that into Montoya.
You absolutely can, but I did not see what Will grabbed. It was the he had it. This is a chain, because you get the crystal from the confused old men that then turns into the slab. You have to go back to Melmond to turn in the slab, and then go back to Lefane close to the start in order to speak to the Lefanians and find out what they have. This is an interesting chain.
Also, you can blame Shy, not only our tracker, but rolled this.
Oh, do they not have Dr. Un at Melmond?
Dr. Un was at Melmond.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a different flag. I don't believe that one's on. It can rotate the elf nurse, the Dr. Un, and...
Yep. The king of the dragons himself. OJ, you're safe from the blame. Don't worry. All right. Will looking pretty good on levels right now. I believe, yeah, 273 max HP. Nice spot to be in with that fighter. With Bane and Brack, that gives the chance of taking out both Kraken and Tia. I know they both know where Tia is, but neither of them know where Kraken is.
I'm wondering what's sitting at the end of this chain. Logically, I'm thinking it has to be Ruby or Floater. Because that's what's opening up more of the world to us, is one of those two.
Ruby, Floater, Canal might open something up, because there is a chance of a Canal Island with procedurally generated overworld. But yeah, I would expect either Floater or Ruby.
And I'm not saying it's 50-50 situation. We're talking more like 80-20 here.
Oh, yeah.
So the Ruby could open something, but it has to be where there's the other side of the Titan's Cave and there's another town or dungeon on the other side of it.
So, funnily enough, on that, usually what will happen if it does end up being the Ruby is that will lead to Sarda, or in the case of this flag set, it will lead to the loose item. But we're about to find out, and no, it's the bottle.
I said the end of the chain. I didn't say that item.
True.
Can't get me that easily.
It's funny though, because it's like, yeah, we're close, but we can't end up walking, 10, 12 steps just to make it over here to turn in this bottle and help you out a little bit more.
It's very good for the bonus, though, because we're knocking off a bunch of these in the chain, so the experience is only going to be that much better for the rest of the way.
Indeed it is, and here we go, bottle being used, and it leads to even more fetch quests, the crown.
I don't think we saw Astos' place, though.
I don't think we have seen where Astos resides yet.
Bonnie, I think we need that key.
I think you're right at this point. Which is not a great situation for either of these runners to be in, but also not entirely a bad one. It's just going to require a lot of money.
Well, we can stock it up pretty easily now. The overworld enemies near Crescent Lake are probably the best bet we have right now.
Either that or find the encounter zone for Lefane.
You've also got the Sea Shrine enemies with Lit 3, and if you're brave, we do have the Warbeck floor.
The Warmack floor would be really, really good for money in and of itself. Those encounters not only give a lot of experience, but they also give a lot of money.
You just have to actually be able to kill them.
And that's the hard part.
Angry shark, doot 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 doot.
Checking through the spells. No.
I promise I'm only doing that once.
No offensive white magic yet. But some good damage coming out from the dragon swords. There goes the regular shark. The Gur sharks should be falling soon after. Lit 3 comes out again. There's one down. There's two down. That's quick 3,000 gold for Will. Straight into some water elementals, which...
We're not really ready to fight these. You want ice magic for them, which we don't have.
And they have fire too, which is a little terrifying. Yeah, it looks like this key is going to be required.
So what I believe Will is doing is... Well, never mind. I thought he was checking the encounter rate off power cycle.
That is a good question, Xanth. And unfortunately, the answer to that is no. Thief lockpicking is not turned on. So the nice part about thief lockpicking is that you can get a thief up to a specific level that you set for the lockpicking flag, and instead of needing the mystic key, you can just go through those doors.
Now, what might Will be looking for? He's not looking for fights.
I think, I might be wrong here, but I think we're about to see a dive into the Bridge of Destiny.
Okay, sure. Take your shot.
Opens up with a fighter, which is a nice encounter to see on the start, but who knows how much HP these fighters have. Not a whole lot.
Yeah, level 11's not great, but that fighter does have very good HP, so theoretically we can do this.
Might even be able to make it to the back of the bridge and take down Tia, which would give one orb lit, but also end up giving quite a bit of experience and a little bit of gold.
Alright, so we don't have the right magic for the slimes. You want fire for those.
Yeah, lack of fire magic is a little painful to see. Delicious Naocho here.
Getting through it though, so this is also a level and money grind, but I think Will has come to the same conclusion as us that you need some key money right now.
Yep. And these fighters are going to provide all the key money that you need. But Czar actually having a pretty good fight just in the worms here. That Dragon Sword going to be able to do a lot of extra damage.
And the heal 3x can help keep you alive too. So there were several spell items in the base game. In this case, that would be the Light Axe. And when you use the Light Axe in battle, it would cast Harm 2. So it's a spell casting item. There's the same number of those in Randomizer, but when you have this flag on, the spell that they cast is randomized.
And that is because random item magic is turned on. But it's only affecting the spellcasting items themselves. And Czar should have this fight done. Gets a nice 3,500 gold for it, but that fighter that Will found off Power Cycle on the Bridge of Destiny is much, much better for the gold versus the time investment.
Until Czar finds a T-Rex. Actually, this is the wrong area for that, but still.
Yeah.
Desert area, I don't think he's... Actually, I think this is two different areas because the worms shouldn't be here. This isn't Ryukon Desert. Ryukon Desert is above us, but this isn't Ryukon.
This looks to be the more northern part of
Mirage Desert.
Yeah, the Mirage Desert. So the part of it that leads over to the Castle of Ordeals. Or as we're used to calling it, Citadel of Trials in the more recent versions.
It's always Ordeals to me.
I agree with you. Hey, broke it into pieces on one of those worms. Gonna make this fight a little bit faster, which is nice to see.
The Brack has good accuracy. It's definitely worth casting. I was a little surprised Will wasn't doing that to the fighters.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by it as well. But all in all, it works out. Alright, Lit 3 gonna come out, doing some decent damage to these Manticores. Heal 3 Axe gonna get everybody topped off.
It does make it easier to keep on fighting.
That Coral Sword is doing some damage.
For what it's worth, enemy stats are randomized, so some of these things are harder or easier as randomness dictates.
But they are, and to give an idea on the scaling for the enemies themselves, their stats are going to be anywhere from 50 to 200% of their vanilla value, and their HP scaling is going to be anywhere from 80 to 150% of their vanilla value. Bosses we'll get into once we actually fight a boss.
So looking ahead a little bit, we're working on getting key money. For what we've seen the Marsh Cave and we've seen the Dwarf Cave, both of which have locks to get opened with that key. No Canaria Castle yet.
Yeah, lack of Canaria Castle is it's a thing, that's for sure. All right. Here is the key pickup for Czar. Here's hoping that that necessary item is over in the Dwarf Cave.
I'm not really concerned about Marsh anymore. It's one thing when you're level 5, it's a whole different thing when you're level 15.
This is true. The only thing that would be slightly beneficial is having one of those exit charges at the ready.
The other thing is I'm assuming that random trap tiles is on. So the chance to see what's down there in Marsh would be nice.
Yes.
Hi, Chad. How y'all doing tonight? People having a good Saturday out there? Anybody get ice cream today? If so, tell me what kind.
Ooh, wolves with lock.
We have ourselves a marsh cave. That's where Czar goes first.
I can appreciate this. 3 boxes here, locks behind that key.
It's a canoe.
The first box gives the canoe. Oh boy. Ooh, chocolate ice cream. One of my favorites.
Respectable. I've been on a mint chocolate chip kick lately. The strawberry is my favorite all time.
I'm back on Neapolitan.
Some angry snakes.
Though regarding an ice sword, that's not bad to see. No.
It's much money. You can sell it to help you afford the key.
I mean,
No, honestly, you probably wouldn't mind selling it for some item money right now.
that's what I would sell it for. And that's an Aegis Shield +5. That's very, very nice to see for promotion.
For sale, but getting one for free is, less. And again, honestly, you might sell it.
This is true. I mean, after obtaining the gear and the key items, selling gear becomes the play to make quick money.
Especially when you know it's easily replaceable.
Indeed.
So theoretically, with Canoe, we can dock at more places, because you just need a river tile to park the boat at, and you can get in there. But I'm not sure how many of those islands up there have those. Meantime, let's see what the dwarves are holding on to.
Yeah, whatever the dwarves are holding on to is a question. Silver armor +5, some lunch money. Scimitar +5. There's a bridge.
That, I believe, was the loose item, so that should put all the other required items in logic for NPCs and whatnot. Hooray!
Actually, that canoe was, because the bridge isn't incentivized at all.
Let's see, incentive locations are Ice Cave, Castle Ordeals, and Canaria Locked.
Yep. It looks like Will has gotten up to level 16 while we've been working on these technical difficulties.
All right, new territory.
And it's Canary Castle.
And it's incentivized, and we've got an item for it.
That is an herb coming in from the king. And Will did pick up the key, so that is all set and good to go. And what is going to be here in the back of Canaria Castle, as Durgu Volcano leads to the middle of the marsh cave. That's the canal. That's Temple of Fiends. Oh boy.
Garland will try to knock us down, which, honestly, the white mage at this point could probably just slap him around and you'd win eventually. Czar found an ice cave entrance.
I mean, you would think that the white mage should be able to slap him around, but with that being a boss found, should probably mention that bosses are also scaled. Their stats are scaled from 200 to 400%, and their HP is also scaled from 200 to 400%, but they are both separate scalings from each other. So you could have a boss with 400% stats, but only 220% HP. And I say only.
Also, with that key, we're gonna check out what's in Temple of Fiends. These normally 3 that are locked. Got an Invis Stick.
Invis Stick and a cat claw, that's pretty good.
Alright, since OJ mentions gum, what's the best gum and what's the worst gum as we find a Brack shirt?
Brack shirt's really nice to find, and another dragon sword there for Will.
Also, obviously, the worst gum is the zebra gum, because the flavor lasts for like 2 seconds.
Good old zebra stripe.
Yeah, it just didn't. The flavor did not last.
Yeah, I'm in agreement that zebra stripe was by far the worst, but as for the best, I don't really have an answer on that one.
Breast cancer is Big League Chew.
I mean, that's a classic answer too, though.
I'll also accept Doublemint gum was pretty good. Juicy Fruit wasn't bad. Wrigley knew their stuff. They didn't build that baseball park for nothing.
No, and Doublemint's one of my go-tos. Whenever I'm just like, I don't know what kind of gum I want.
I know there are people who bought Big Red, I just don't know any of them.
You actually do. I used to enjoy some Big Red.
Another one of the Cardia Isles located here.
And that would be Cardia Forest.
Start playing The Floor is Lava. Ooh, Sky Star Floor. A lot of treasure here. Just be ready for high-level enemies if you see them. Possible eyes here.
Possible eyes, possible Gurmedusas. Lots of potential good stuff here.
Dar, you want to take 2-3 minutes?
Protect your mages with the capes the professionals use.
Okay, you want to count us down? You count us down.
Yeah, the Pro Cape,
Okay, I'm out.
really, really good for the mages.
Alright, so the runners are on a short break. You know, sometimes stuff happens, long day, so they have an agreed timeout moment here. No one's gonna get an advantage. Well, if we hadn't already wasted the bubblegum question.
This would have been a perfect time for it. But I'll throw another question out there. What kind of cake is your favorite?
That did actually come through, right? Because I was looking something up real fast.
Ooh, red velvet or strawberry cheesecake. Both very, very solid choices. And yes,
Strawberry shortcake, vanilla ice cream. That's the way to go.
that's a 10 out of 10 combination right there.
Strawberry Festival in Florida, something worth doing once in your life.
Indeed. Angel food cake is one of my favorites. And it looks like
Okay. You want to count us down?
Will is back and running again.
Thank you.
And there's Czar going as well.
Yeah, they're in voice chat, so they're able to talk to each other and coordinate something like that.
And that's a Kraken floor for Will.
Save, and I think you go for it. You got Brack.
Save and go for it with the Brack. Well, we say that. There's a slight potential issue in this. And that is that the Fiends are shuffled.
Well, you're ready for 3 out of the 4s, so still take your shot.
Yeah, you've only got a 25% chance that you get the wrong one.
So the wrong one in this case being Carrie. Brack will be good for either Kraken or Tiamat, and Quake for Lich. We were discussing that earlier. So yeah, we've got magic for 3 out of 4 of the Fiends.
And here's Elflin Castle.
Got the herb.
I don't
Czar
think
has
Will
the herb.
has the herb. Yeah, Czar has the herb. Dude, oh my gosh, is that a second Brack shirt?
Random treasures. It's not limited to just one on these things.
No, it's not. Multiple Brack shirts, always powerful. There's
Need the chime, Will.
a chime. What's that?
It's the thing that's not a cube.
Oh, and there's Waterfall.
That was a sea shrine floor.
Yep, Waterfall leads to the small ice, and then, as I like to call this floor, the Dead Sea floor, because there are 0 chests on this floor.
A free opal +1.
Gets rid of that silver +6. And now it is time for Czar to move on to the next floor, which is Sharknado floor. And there's mermaids for Will.
Lot of treasure here. See if any of it pays off.
Wraith and Spectres here on this tile. There's the tail.
Ribbon for Czar. That's a biggie.
That's a huge find. And that tail was not incentivized, so it was going to be placed anywhere in the world, and Will happen to find it. I can imagine him being absolutely delighted in finding it.
We have seen so much good stuff for class change. You would love to get that right now. For the thief turned ninja, the elemental stuff like that ice armor +5 is the best. And you'd be able to pick up the dragon armor for the knight. Now the only problem is we don't have Bahamut yet.
That is the only problem, but at the same time, he also has that X-Cal +6 in tow, which does do some good work against the fiends prior to Chaos, as then I know for a fact the Vorpal will be equipped. And even if it's not actually Chaos of some sort, the Vorpal will still be equipped. It's
Mummies with trance.
Hey.
Now, one of the optional flags is fun enemy names. That's a Masamune +2.
All right. All right. That's a good weapon.
That is a very good weapon.
And Czar did pick up a Vorpal somewhere in all of this.
They were for sale. He probably bought one.
Maybe.
The heat is on.
There's Hold coming out.
By the way, this is a Final Fantasy. Birds are jerks.
Almost any RPG, birds are jerks.
Are they any better in platformers, honestly? You play Super Mario Brothers 2, you gotta do the level with the birds. Anyone think they aren't jerks? Alright, what's Princess Sarah have? Because we've not seen this. It's the cube!
Or as I like to call it, it's the D6!
Ooh, White Dragon's throwing out crack.
Ooh, that's not what you like to see. Lock helmet +3, there is that canal for Will. We go from ice into volcano into sky 3.
The window. Flame Shield +4 is a great get. Actually, that's a near perfect get if you can get that tail and class change, because now you could have the ice armor and Flame Shield on the thief, which is a discount ribbon at that point.
And you have 2 of the 3 standard elements that you resist. There's another X-Cal +6, another Pro Cape. And this is the hard part.
Let go of the
really
gloves.
get into it.
Gloves are nothing.
Deciding what to throw and what to keep becomes such a difficult decision to make once you really get down to it.
If we have any mods lurking, could you take a look at chat, please? That's all I'll say. Alright, so Sea Shrine, first floor, that's got 2 directions you can go in, so it's one of the things to be very careful of with Floor Shuffle is make sure you've checked both. That's Sarda. I believe early Sarda is on, so we should be able to get a free item here.
Hey, the chime! Thank you very much, mods. Much appreciated. All right. And now Will has found the other side of the split. Dropping the buckler to pick up that ice shield +5. And there's the combination for the ninja to have absorption on, or not absorption, resistance on every element except for lightning for your standard 3 elements.
Okay, so we've got Earth Cave 4, the Floor of Frustration's little brother, as I've always called it. So this would be after the plate. Drop the gloves are nothing.
Yeah, this is
It's
time
like
to drop
full
the
defense.
Honestly, the flame shield works too.
Just make sure you staggered fire and ice. So if you got flame armor, you want ice shield.
Yep. So 2 ribbons located for cZar, which is really, really nice. And I know Will is trying to hunt down where Bahamut is and get all that figured out, but
Probably the Mirage entrance, honestly.
that would make sense. Beautiful knowledge on where the trapped tiles are from cZar in Lich's closet. And Mirage 1
Mirage 1. That's a lot of treasure.
is
And maybe not bad experience if you want to fight it.
but unfortunately out of Lit 3 charges. Alright. Will coming to turn in the herb. Okay. That is massive. That's the floater. That is air access right there.
It had to be somewhere, and I don't think he's too far from Ryukan.
No, he is not. Because Ryukan is just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
That was, I believe, Mirage 2?
No, it's ice.
Oh,
It
you're
is
right.
the loop of ice.
Went too fast for me. Ooh, Phantom, that's a jerk.
That's the wrong eye.
I don't think that tile repeats, though. That would be the, like... Oh,
That's the
whatever
mage
the dude's
tile.
name is. Not Fighter, the other one.
That,
Actually, it might be Fighter.
no, that specific tile was the mage tile.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of.
Frost Dragon tile holds giants. A little bit of money, and there is a ribbon for Will.
His first, that's the third we have seen, though, so you've got plenty of defense available to you.
You absolutely do. This could be one of those seeds that has 4 ribbons.
Well, I mean, with class change, we've already got Dragon and Aegis, so...
Yeah, the pseudo ribbon does exist here.
Put it this way, there may be more, but you can't ask for more.
This is very true. Red Dragon goes down with ease.
Yeah, we're quite over a level where we should be able to handle him. Was that a Sun Sword? Yes, it was. A Sun +6, in fact, is a really great pickup before class change.
That will be fantastic against Lich if Lich is found, and that's an Ice 3 stake.
Huge pickups with that, and the Temper Gauntlet came in there.
Yeah, that Temper Gauntlet was huge. All right. 3 boxes left before checking the vanilla floater chest.
All right, I'm not good on my floor shuffle logic. Is that staircase an exit to the cave, or can there be floor beyond that?
That staircase is the exit. It will take you back out to the overworld.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how deep the ice loop is. And that is the ruby coming in for Will here on Ice Cave. Gonna check this tile. It's just some zombies. Gonna get on out of here. Check that last chest. It's a coral sword. And now it's just time to run out. Here's the mud goal tile. And now it's time to run.
All right, so I believe what happened is when I said those were the incentive locations, I believe they were all set to random status or tri-state status, which means they may or may not be incentivized, because that coral sword is not an incentive item.
So the chest placement of the incentives is set to random.
Ah, that'll do it.
So it's the pseudo-loose variant. All right. Will is in the air. We'll say an hour, 2 minutes. Pretty good, all things considered. Does find the last town, which is a ransacked Elfland.
Ice 3 sticks for sale here. We could have had them the whole time, except we couldn't get here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that happens. But black magic coming in. There's level 3 nuke.
A little unfortunate to see warp at the same level, but you're not going to turn down a low-level nuke.
And oh my goodness.
You know what? On commentary, they should have known this was a red mage seed.
Yep. Level 4 Exfer, level 4 Harm 4. Harm 4, really good backup spell for Undead. And there's level 4 Fast as well as Quad X. So, Quad X is a power word spell, and if an enemy has 300 or fewer HP, they will just instantly be killed. Also, look at the price on that Temper Gauntlet.
Seeing this stuff for sale at Elfland is insane.
No kidding there.
Pro Ring +4, that's big, and that's a free Vorpal.
Well, always needs more Vorpals. And that was a free Pro Ring as well.
Kind of surprising to me that we're an hour in and we really haven't tried for any of the fiends yet. Of course, you have to find them first, but...
Also have to find promotion, which we haven't seen yet. But we might be close to it.
I wouldn't pick up the katana, you don't need it. You gotta go Vorpal anyways. I believe with the blurst it's slightly better.
So the katana actually slightly outweighs the Vorpal in this case because it is, well, not only because it's +4, but also because it has the same crit as the Vorpal prior to the Florsing being added to it.
Will has found Citadel, Castle Ordeals.
Let's just combine them both. Citadel of Ordeals.
Castle of Trials.
Exactly. And with the Pillar Maze itself being randomized, it is quite literally an ordeal to make it through sometimes.
Warp is huge for that, though. It just trivializes it.
Very much so, and that
Oh,
is
wow, that's a trap I fight. We might be here for a minute.
Maybe.
I mean, why wouldn't you get 25 right here? The one thing I would excuse it for is going to get the key item first and get 10% more experience.
I mean, there's that, and then there's promotion for the charges on the Knight and the Ninja. All right, only the 4-pack and the vanilla incentive chest remain coming into the 4-pack, and there is the loot.
Now we can get the warrant.
Exactly. Okay, this is no longer Castle of Ordeals. This is Castle of Grinds.
Talk to the old man. Let him warp away. You're gonna be back here. Hey, we're finally gonna get a fiend fight.
Ooh. What fiend are we going to get?
Chat, who's that boss? Get your gas in, quick. Volcano, I'm going to go Kraken.
We're going to say Lich. It is Kraken.
I'm on a roll today.
Are we going to see Brackstrats used?
You have to remember that you had the shirts.
Gonna start with evasion, which I can appreciate. Okay, Kraken's not hitting too terribly hard. So that's 3 stacks of the 6 stacks of evasion. Each use of Invis 2, or even Invis 1 for that matter, will increase evasion by 40 points. And oh my goodness, here's Northwest Castle.
So that was Ruby locked. Also, Kraken with Thunder, just to be non-trivial. That is a 4th ribbon that we have seen. Two different ribbons for both runners.
Very nice to see. Ooh, 2 hits, 19 damage is not what you want to see. Ice 3 for 120 and Nuke following up for 210. Heal 3 Axe definitely getting some mileage here.
I didn't see what... oh, there we go. Rot. We don't have that yet.
We have
I've
not
seen the vampire floor.
No, we have not. We have not seen Earth 3 yet. Amaz is not doing very much damage, and there we go. There's damage coming out.
Yeah, I don't know why Zara doing the Brackstrats. You're durable enough, just let Kraken swing and you cast Brack.
Exactly. I think he's trying to play the more traditional fight, if you will. Oh, that was a big swing from the Mazda.
This
That was-
Kraken's got a lot of HP, but can't have too much more.
I mean, it can have a max of, let's see, I think it's 2,000, and there it goes.
Yeah, it was 1,100 more damage. Like I said, it couldn't have been too much. Although it was more than 700, which is what I would have defined as much.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, it could have had a max of 2,800.
It took us 700 damage, and then it took another 400 to kill it.
Yeah. All right, Czar back into the C-split, about to head over to the left side, see what lies over here. We know it's Sarda. Czar now knows it's Sarda. Time to see what's obtained as Will picks up that Sun Sword +6. And there is the chime for Czar.
So just running through this is a checklist. We've seen 2 of our 4 fiends. We've seen our Temple of Fiends entrance. And we've got to find 2 fiends somehow.
We've seen 3 fiends because we've seen Kraken's floor, and we've seen Bridge of Destiny, and then of course
Volcano, yeah.
Volcano with Carrie's floor.
We've not seen that vampire floor. This is Cube, which we do have.
And that's
Everybody signed Will's Cube.
That's a vanilla blue dragon to lead into the procedurally generated waterfall. All right. So, fun little fact here about the Proc Gen waterfall is if it generates the right way, it can loop infinitely, either north to south or east to west.
We got warp though, so it's quick to get back. Rare gas dragon encounter. Now, the encounters get shuffled around, but vanilla, that would be a rare encounter.
It absolutely would. And we already
There's
see
the treasure room.
There's the frost dragon using
They have
crack.
wings, and it makes them birds, and birds are jerks.
Yep, and here's Canal Island for Czar. And soon to pick up the floor, there's a 5th ribbon?
5th ribbon, and the axial. So we do have that. We saw Onrak very early.
We did. I think that's really all that remains. So, even though Czar is up 1 orb right now, with everything Will has explored and pulled ahead with, there's a huge advantage in that.
An airship for travel, that's been a pretty big advantage that Will has had for... That was a weird bridge placement.
That is exactly what Proc Gen Overworld will do, is cause some extremely strange bridge placements.
I just wonder which bridge that was, actually, because we have turned in the TNT.
That was the Canal Bridge.
How could you tell?
Because before, that bridge wasn't there.
Okay, then.
And after turning the TNT, that
Cheating
bridge
by remembering things. So that was born out of a logical soft lock. I don't know that we ever actually ran into, but when early progression flags were developed, things that would let you like walk from Canaria down to Marsh Cave, as we see Volcano on Will's side, figured out that, well, if you turned in the TNT, you wouldn't have a way back. And I just threw out there to the devs, it's like, well, what if you copied the bridge and put the bridge over? And that's why there's a canal bridge now, because that was the easiest way to fix a logical soft lock.
Which, that was such a good suggestion and remains to be such a good suggestion.
I had a couple of those. The other biggie I came up was the up A.
Yes.
So if you pull Zelda 1, which is where I got this from, just shamelessly ripped it off, up A on the second controller will hard reset the game. It'll treat it like a power cycle. And the reason for that is for on standard console where you've got like an EverDrive, it would take way too long to get back into the game. And when we were doing one of the tournament competitions, this was actually the first league, someone with an EverDrive raised that concern, and I said, well, what if we just copied Zelda 1 and did up A, and it would at least make it better.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I also want to give a shout out to this specific person, but wasn't that Jake Hoper?
No. The player was Darkwing. The
DW
developer, I believe, was Meridian, who did that once. That's a 6th ribbon.
Needs more ribbons.
Ribbons for everybody. You get a ribbon. You get a ribbon. She gets a ribbon. But his is cursed.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so we're finding out just where this dive leads to, and aha!
Maze. Sky Maze.
Yes, so this is another flag that is turned on. You can turn Sky 4 into a maze, and it can be a pain. Yep.
Yeah, oh boy, now I can not be prevented from being confused forever. No, this is FF1. You always have a 3 in 256 chance.
Unless the RNG fixes on, in which case it becomes a 2 in 256 chance, which...
That's a distinction without a difference.
Yes. Which the missing battle RNG entry flag is not turned on, so it is a 3 in 256.
That looked like the exit was straight down from the entrance.
It might have been.
Czar's found one of the ice cave floors.
Yep, Czar's
And it was.
in the loop. And here's the rod block.
I'm also keeping an eye if Czar sees our incentive ice item. I didn't see anything special.
I know Will has picked it up. I believe it was the ruby.
That would make sense. Czar is having a real armor issue. Honestly, let the opal go. You class change, you're getting the dragon armor.
Oh yeah.
This is trouble you can get into sometimes with the randomizer, is you see great end game stuff that you do not want to get rid of, but you can't use it without class change, so it ends up just eating your inventory space.
And it just becomes an everlasting problem. Yep, that's the Ruby. Or with the fun Ruby flag, or fun Ruby name flag on, it's the pudding.
Well, yesterday was rice pudding day, so...
Right, it was.
Fun fact about using this rod, you do not have to be standing next to the plate, you just have to be in the correct zone. So as soon as you go past that first wall, you can just pop open the inventory, use the rod from a square away.
Yep.
Feel free to do that on stream just to mess with people who don't know that.
And there is Czar in the air at the hour 20-minute 54-second mark. There is the exit for the Ruby, so the other side of Titans. And here's Kraken's room.
So we know Kraken is off the board. I don't think he just switched with Carrie. I think this is going to be Lich.
I'm thinking this is going to be Tia. We'll find out soon enough.
Ooh, Big Eye. Very nice experience.
Yes, the Gershark Big Eye Pack, the EXP Pinata. Amazing to see.
Also, we'll find out what's on the Agama tiles.
Well, that's not. It's Tia.
So, another one of the fiends that you can prac strats. Oh, it's slimes! I don't think we have fire spells.
Don't need fire spells when you have Fade and Nuke.
Will's just running, though. I think he's worried about those spell charges.
He very well may be. And here's Bahamut.
Well, good time to go right back to the slimes, then.
And with that, Will has been promoted. Going to switch over to that Excal.
And the katana. And should have some gear to switch on the fighter and ninja side, armor-wise. Yeah, that Opal plus 6 will be a good defensive gain for just pure melee, and also some lightning resistance.
And an extra walk plus 3 helmet.
Yeah, that would be the heal helmet. You can equip that.
But you don't want to override the ribbon being equipped. Alright, with that, I do think we're going to see Will just start going to blast out fiends.
Well, he didn't go back to the slimes, which surprises me. That would have been a great time to kill a couple of slimes.
Brat comes out, broken into pieces for Czar!
Orb. And greetings to you, Nello. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes.
Chat, hope you're
very
having fun.
much. Sorry, Trenton.
I was just saying, hope chat's having fun. We're having fun. I mean, you and I haven't been into a booth together in like over 2 years.
Yeah, I was about to say it's been a couple years since we last were in the booth together. Maybe even longer. I think, was it the Total Chaos tournament that we were last in the booth together? For the PSP version? of FF1.
Ah, shoot, that one's been like 4 years now, hasn't it?
I think so.
We skipped out when we did one for the Pixel remaster.
Oh yeah, we did do the one for the Pixel remaster. That's right.
I have done another one because honestly, the 80% run is kind of boring. You just like do it and you're done.
Yeah.
And it's got some really annoying RNG for stat growth, which is kind of the worst RNG there is. So, anyways, there just hadn't been much interest in doing another one.
Which is fair.
Alright, so Czar is going to find the eyes, and we'll see if he's worried about spell charges or he wants to grab a few levels, because when you talk about these Fiend refights and the stat boosts that those can face, you're talking about a max 240 out of 256 evade, and that is a lot.
Yeah, that evade can be huge.
As it used to be, you go all the way back to one of the first big showcases we did of FF1 Rando, and there was a 250 or 253. I think it was a Tiamat that was just a monster to get through.
Yeah. It's a bit
It was
scary.
sort of legendary, though, because we spent like an hour trying to get past that one boss.
I mean, there have been a lot of legendary seeds throughout the year, or throughout the years, shall I say, for this game. One of them that I still remember quite fondly is the Gurmadusas of Death, because the Gurmadusas had Death Touch.
And 12 hits.
So you were most likely going to die.
When you're talking about a 6-pack and 72 chances for them to kill you, it's a lot of chances.
Yeah. It gets a little painful.
So I just found the chime.
Nope, that was the loot.
Oh. Well, musical instruments, how am I supposed to know?
I mean, that's the fun part about the multi-instrumentalist Sarah flag. So Czar has 2 orbs lit. Will still has 0 orbs, but imagine Will is just on the hunt for, let's say, Lich at whatever's at Lich's spot at this point.
Let's see, we already got the rod floor, so this should be able to backtrack to the at least one of them, if not two.
Also, Nello, I'm curious as to what your favorite way to play Final Fantasy 1 is.
I mean, the only one that would kind of stand out as odd would be, I think it's the MSX version, where all the resistances are backwards.
That would be a thing.
Oh yeah, Shanezel has done several runs of that to put a legitimate world record on the board. But yeah, you go into Chaos and you cast Fract.
Yeah.
Because instead of being invulnerable to it, he's weak to it.
This is true. So, Nello, I wouldn't call your favorite way of playing it blasphemous, because the Pixel remaster in and of itself is quite good.
Yeah, what I say of the Pixel Remaster versions as the whole, having played all 6, to all achievements, in fact, is they're the definitive casual way to play the game.
100% agreed.
So they did right by fans giving us that.
Oh yeah.
Speedrunning, you may have different wants, but just for fans of the game, that was a love song, and they nailed it.
I mean, speedrunning, and this is the only one I can really account for the most because it's the one I put the most time into. I will always play 4 on the Super Nintendo. All right, Will diving through, checking a few chests still. About to pick up that Mosmian, which is going to be super nice.
These Wiz Mummies are not shy on the experience. This is a pretty good encounter.
This is quite a good encounter. That Harm 4 is going to come out.
cZar's finally found Garland.
Hey!
And one shot's all you need.
That's level 27 across the board, which is quite good. And there's that Mosmian +2 for Will. Immediately going on to the White Mage, going to warp out, so that way he does not have to go through that tile again.
Yeah, the normally Princess Sarah vanilla game would warp you back, but that could cause issues with entrance shuffle, so it's not going to do that.
Yep, it can put you in a soft locked state. Will just checking through the rest of the chests.
Finds an Opal +1.
I imagine that's going to be going on that Black Wizard, which it absolutely is.
I'm not actually sure that's better than the Gold 6.
So the golds are +4, which means in order for it to match the opal has to be -1. If the gold was +6, it would be equivalent to the opal +1.
Okay.
Also, Carrie sighting, and she hurt.
Yes, this is interesting. Will has done a lot more exploring and got that class change, but cZar has actually ticked the boxes on these fiends much earlier than Will, who is at the very least going to have to backtrack and click some of them off.
But it shouldn't take Will too terribly long to do that.
No, but you do have to invest the time to actually go do it.
This is true.
And technically speaking, class change not required.
That too is true. And there goes Carrie for cZar 26. And that is also where Lich was located, which is at Canaria Castle. Okay. One fiend remains. It's over at the Elfland Castle. Gonna bring up the Black Mage save again. And it's time to go onto the Bridge of Destiny. Are we going to have a Warbeck sighting? We absolutely are, as Warmech's required.
I thought that was the case, but I wasn't positive. What code do you think we're going to get? I think we're going to get Johnny 5. That went too fast.
That did go too fast. I didn't see what it said. All right, gonna start off in Vising up, and I believe using the Temper Bonk on that fighter. White Mage getting punched for 192 is no big deal because max evasion will be had very, very quickly.
Not hitting Wormack, though. It was one hit, if at all.
It was no hits. Definitely going to need some lock on this Wormack. But the fasts are out. Heals up and going to cast lock.
Oh, we went that movie, whichever one that is. Odyssey.
Yes.
Space Odyssey. I can't let you do that, Dave. Thank you, chat.
Yes, thank you so much, chat. Weapon, I'm glad you caught what we missed because that is super helpful. No 3 and 256 zaps hitting here. Gonna keep using heal 3s.
Yeah, so the thing with Wormack is he's in the boss script shuffle, and that means the 2s of the Fiends Revisited, Lich 2, Carry 2, Kraken 2, Tia 2, and Chaos, and Wormack. So it's the 6 of them share a pool for script shuffle.
So if we see the potential Cure 4 come out, then we know a Cure 4 will be out of the running for Temple of Fiends, but at the same time, we can't entirely rule that out because of the alternate final boss.
Also, there are 2 of those in the pool, so extra fun that way. Doing some damage, though. We're getting there.
Inks a free turn. So this Wormack is going down slowly but steadily. 7 hits, 7 damage coming out from the Thief. 7 for 862 from that Knight is going to net 21,000 EXP, bringing most of the party up to level 29. That Thief is at a beautiful health value of 410 max HP. And
Full health, you'll survive a nuke.
here's Lich.
Should see Quake strats. If it gets that far.
Nah, too fast should do it because with that fighter wielding the Sun Sword, it should go very quickly.
Quake strat's more fun.
Oh, I will agree. 8 hits, 902, that's it. That's all 4 orbs lit for Czar.
And he's got Temple of Fiends, so go. Why not? Let the game stop you.
I mean, hope that that doesn't happen, but if it happens, then so be it.
I think this is to get the Sarah item he didn't get before.
It is, and that's the cube. And it looks like Will is still running to check some stuff.
Yeah, he got the loot because that was the musical instrument. He's got the key, so yeah. Go for Temple of Fiends.
It is that time. Alright, here we go. Time to dive down to the Temple of Fiends. With it being
The guillotine will not work on those bats because they have 2 different messages.
correct, and their message changes after you translate the slab and are able to speak Lefanish.
Is it that or is it the orbs? I thought it was until the orbs.
Yeah, we found out it's the slab.
Okay.
All right. Even though Czar was decently behind Will when it came to exploration, since Will has not taken any of the fiends, it really allowed Czar to catch up and have a heck of a lead here.
Now you still got to get through the bosses, though. So
Does, and this is where things can get absolutely terrifying.
but as I said, it just rationally, strategically let the game stop you first.
Exactly.
Because hey, the bosses may not roll that high. What you have can be absolutely be good enough to just go ahead and win.
We won't know until Czar gets there.
It's also getting very good experience from randoms along the way. These early floors are very good for those worms that you might take out in one shot, get a whole big pile of experience.
Never know.
Earth floor is more of a group encounter floor. You're not really going to see stuff you want to deal with too much here.
I mean, Mud Goal, Rock Goal encounter is not a bad one to see, but it's definitely not, I'd say, a great encounter.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure what Will is looking for at this point. Like item-wise, I don't know what he needs that he's still opening boxes.
He was looking for that Vorpal.
They're for sale!
Yep. Ooh, looks like Germedusa's ended up rolling Ice 2 this time.
You know, worth noting is we're in deep here. Kind of a tradition that just developed over time with FF1 Randomizer was to name characters after people. So that's what's happened for both of our runners. Czar put his own name in there along with Lyra SRL. Sonny Rath is in there, and Shy our Tracker is in there. Meanwhile, on Will Cleosa's side, he's got Falconic, the Enforcer of Team Vorpal. He's got Mo. Hi, Mo. Got Will himself. And Mono, we miss you, man. It was Minochi 85.
Always miss Mono. Good old Minochi.
Hey, there's Lyra joining us in chat.
Alright, this speed bump not looking like much of a speed bump. And now it looks more like a speed bump.
Yeah, that's where you hope that this Lich script was sitting on a whole bunch of nasty stuff when you just got by it quickly.
Not entirely, because we still have the alternate final boss to see, which could be Fun Dead. We don't know what the alternate final boss is until one of them gets there. All right. Will has made it to Carrie's floor.
We already saw earlier that the Agama tile was slimes.
He's still opting to not take any. As Czar pulls Carrie 2, this is where damage can really start coming out.
So as I'm trying to analyze what I see from Will, I'm seeing him reading this seed as progression was so buried and so complex to get to that he feels like this is a lead. I don't think it has occurred to him that Czar could be in Temple of Fiends on Carrie already.
I would agree. I don't think so either. Oh, Carry 2 is the one that has the Cure 4.
Which means that for most of our boss combinations, that's off the table now.
There's only one boss combination that it isn't off the table for, and that is the Double Dragon encounter. Everybody survives the nuke.
And Chad is now rooting for the Double Dragon encounter.
Holy moly.
So the reason I said that about what I'm seeing from Will is if you think you are behind, you level up. That's what you do, and you hope that it's just a nasty shy-rolled seed that's going to be terrible, awful, and horrible.
And there goes Carry 2 for Czar. Halfway through the Temple of Fiends Revisited. Topher for short.
It was considered the loot, or you gotta throw one of the bosses in, so probably Lich is the halfway.
For me, Carry 2 is the true halfway on along Topher, because you now get to face the potential gatekeepers here, with Kraken 2 being the first. We're going to see an Invis 2, a Temper Bonk, another Invis 2. We're going to see 3 Invis 2s right off the bat. 12 hits for 1,318. I'm down.
Welcome to high stats and final bosses.
Well, it was nice knowing y'all. I'm taking a dirt nap.
One more Invis 2 to max out the evade.
2 actually.
Did I miscount?
Only got 2 off on round 1 because Kraken got initiative.
Okay. Damage poison.
Not the worst thing to see. It is just chip damage, and that is 5 of the 6 Invis stacks up. Gonna stick with the 5 and go ahead and fast up that fighter. First swing is 195 damage.
It was only one hit, didn't land multiple.
Yeah, and it was a critical hit at that, which definitely tells Czar, I need to lock this Kraken down.
250 is reasonable damage for only one hit.
It really is.
So it looks like the evade is high, the absorb not so much.
Yeah, and 2 locks.
I wouldn't spend any more, I'd save them now. But that's me, and I'm not the one playing this.
This is one of those moments where keeping a lock helmet on somebody that can use it would be massive. But 7 hits now, 372 damage. There were no critical hits in that. But going to continue doing Fight, Fade, Nuke. Fade for 274. That nuke was 132. 5 hits for 300 this time. More Fight, Fade, Nuke. Fade coming out, 99. Swing 7 hits for 463. That is Kraken 2 down.
Will taking a pause there. Has he lost something? Has he lost track of something?
I think he may have.
It's real easy to do with floor shuffle. If you don't have great notes about where everything is.
Well, in doing procedurally generated overworld alongside entrance and floor shuffle, it's rough. It's very rough. Tia 2 fight coming in for Czar. Invis 2's going out. Temper Bonk being used. 3rd Invis 2, so that is 3 stacks of evasion plus 120 evade. Gonna use more Temper. Going to start using heal 3. Does have a lock helm on the white mage, so could pivot into that if needed.
If the HP stays up, it's something you want to go to. The Lit 2 coming out.
Only doing chip damage, fortunately. Swing and a miss here on Tia, and blink and you miss it. Lich 1 goes down for Wilkliosis.
Another Lit 2 came out from Tiamat. Slow 2!
Did it connect? Because I missed whether it did.
I think the white mage.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Considering there's no way the white mage is swinging, then yeah, no, we're not worried about that. Getting the damage numbers now.
Alright, Lit 2 dealing chip damage again.
That's going to be a short spell list.
Seems like it is.
It had 2 Lit 2s in it. So I think we looped around already.
Maybe. It depends upon what's up next. Kraken coming in, or Kraken spot coming in for Will, which we know is Tia. Gonna go with the Brack. Turn 1 initiative ineffective. More tempers going out, only doing 294 here. Swing and a miss from Will. That's not what you want to see. Fire 3 comes in from Tia.
So that was different. That was actually a lot of Lit 2s then.
Yeah, it looks like there were at least 2 Lit 2s, but...
Oh no, there was 3 or 4.
Oh, maybe. But that is it. That is the Kraken spot down for Will. He's just doing Fiend cleanup, and Czar is on to the Ultimate Fiend.
Victory lap are invalid.
Not going to do the victory lap. It's
Warned him about
invalidated.
this. I warned him, victory lap are cursed. He's invoking.
And it's double dragons.
Which means Nuke and Cure 4 are on the table. And a very heavy hitting dragon with the Kraken.
All right, getting evasion up, always good.
I don't think that's as bad as the Wormex would have been, though.
No. Especially with the Wormex having nuclear, would have been much, much worse.
Yeah, even you take a full damage nuke to your face right now, that would take out Shy, but Sonny wouldn't go down to it.
No, but I'd be close.
On the other hand, if Kraken had... Or no, it's Tiamat, not Kraken. Never mind.
Yeah. This one's not the Sahagan wagon.
Yeah, I was going to say a big Kraken hit to your face would have one-shot anybody, but that's in the early rounds. Now that the evade is up, you're much less likely to see 12 hits connecting.
All right. Slow 2 going out onto the Black Mage. That is perfect for Czar. Heal 3's coming out, keeping everybody up. Fast goes out. Gonna keep using those heal 3's.
Alright, so now Will is taking some fights for experience. And he's doing this before Warmech. It's not terrible, but boy, I'd have much rather done a few of these back at the slime tiles.
For sure. And there's the Cure 4 going out onto Tia 2, which hasn't taken any damage. So that is a perfect scenario for Czar. This actually might be done very quickly.
This has been great RNG on this fight. There's much nastier stuff they could have been, but Czar got a chance to get all the buffs out.
Exactly.
You know, it's a big difference in this fight if Tiamat swings at the White Mage and takes it out round 1.
All right. Time to continue locking. There is Swirl coming out. And then Inferno. We might see a multiple heal 3 here as Wilkliosis is taking on the Death Machine, the War Mech.
Pick at the 2 hour mark.
5 hits, 575 coming out.
I've got
Friend back.
20 right now.
Bug beam engaged.
And Czar down to just Tia 2 at this point. Gonna throw out more lock, gonna throw out more heal 3, more temper.
You know, it feels like over 30 minutes ago I said class changes not required. Sorry, showing it.
With the
Sometimes you
weapons,
just gotta go through the game and deal with what you got.
with the weapons that were available, class change was very much optional. Here we go. 8 hits, 350. Cure 3 gonna come out onto that fighter, bringing him back up to 656.
Want to
Definitely.
keep all the health you can on those big swords.
Indeed, 6 for 410 coming out. So definitely getting some more power. 5 for 171 from that thief wielding the Mosmune. Gonna see more temper on the thief. 8 hits, 517, heal 3 axe. And 3 for 122. Not doing much more damage, but every little bit does count here. Temper. 10 hits, 1123. That's a terminated. Get your GGs out for Czar.
Congratulations.
Finishing, I'd say, in an hour, 57 minutes, 22 seconds.
Oh, good job.
As weird as this is to say, because it felt like a really slow start, onto these flags, that's actually a really great time.
Okay, yeah, I think you gotta like type it.
It absolutely is, considering how the scaling is on these flags specifically. And here is the speed bump for Wilkliosis.
I'm lighting my 4th orb. Yeah. Did
You know, just going back into the archive of memories I have, one of the things that I feel like really put Wilkliosis on a lot of people's maps, it was one of the tournaments, and he stepped up his game. He was matched up against Czar. He was this unknown guy against the legendary Zardia. But in that tournament, Wilkliosis made his statement. He won.
Is that the 2018 spring tournament?
Look, I gave you all the details I can remember. Don't ask too much of me. But
I'll just try to do it.
Will made his impression that day as a gamer. He certainly made his impression as a talker. And
Going in.
he's gaming tonight. We look forward to talking with him when it's done.
Oh, absolutely. And Will has just entered. Topher gets the 2 quick encounters and is now up onto the 3rd floor, ready to head towards that loot plate, break it, and head to the back.
It was in Mermaids again.
And if you need a classic 1980s video game and you don't know where to turn, maybe you
You're from
can
Mermaids.
count on the A-Team.
All right.
No, they did great work for us. I still love the base game, and the imagination that was brought into this was incredible. Speaking to several of the developers, they're like, this game barely runs. But you know what? Boy, does it run.
I mean, that was the problem because it was pretty much Nasir doing the programming by himself, and he made it work. Yes, there were some bugs that had to be fixed in later releases of the game, as well as being fixed here in the randomizer, like lock actually working properly, temper working properly, stuff like that. Devs fixed it, and we have just a beautiful randomizer in and of itself, and we are joined by the winner here, Czar. GG's, my friend.
GG's.
And you never even saw Bahamut, did you?
Oh, I'm kicking out these green Medusas. They have ice too.
I'm sorry, one more time?
You never even saw Bahamut, did you?
No, never saw Bahamut, never found Tail.
Czar. GG's, my friend.
Tail was on the other side of Ruby.
Wow, I thought for sure Sarah had the tail.
And you never even saw Bahamut, did you?
I thought Bahamut was on the other side of Ruby, and Tail was in Mermaids.
You never even saw
Because-
Bahamut, did you?
If I remember correctly from what we saw on Will's side, the Tail was
Look,
in the
either way,
scene-
class change was Ruby Lock. That's the important thing here.
Yep.
Oh no.
I thought Bahamut was on the other side of Ruby, and
Czar, you didn't take the victory lap, and then you saw the dragons, and I sure hope my words came back to haunt you.
because if I remember correctly from
Ah,
what we
haunting
saw
is
on
nothing
Will's
new to
side,
me.
the Tail
I'm often intertwined with the paranormal.
in the
Either way,
scene.
class change was Ruby Lock. That's the important thing here.
Yep.
All the Vorpals, you had to be very happy to see that pretty early on. Words came back to haunt you.
I was, and then as the seed went on, and I was like, where's the tail? Where's the tail? Sunsword carried.
That Sun Sword carried you hard throughout all of this. It was amazing to see.
Where you at, Woke?
Also, the Mosmian, when you picked that up, fantastic.
Yeah, that came at the right time. It was in the right place at the right time for that.
You absolutely were, and everything just ended up working out as you kept going through the seed. Really, the advantage that Will had over you was Will had explored pretty much everything, where you were late on getting the airship, but you already had one fiend down.
I see, okay. Yeah, that definitely helped. I blundered. I went to the wrong deserts looking for the airship. Probably lost a couple minutes there.
Yeah, I believe you were over by Mirage at first, and then I imagine that's when you went, oh, yeah. Ryukon was over by the Mirage Desert.
It was another classic fetch quest. I'm surprised that the ruby was not required for this one.
As am I. That fetch quest was definitely a thing, and on top of that, being led to ultimately need the key, that was interesting. Key to Loose Canoe in Marsh Locked was very interesting, but it worked out.
I blame you for that one, Shy. Now, this felt really good, really clean. I had some good routing. I had good notes. I got lucky. Some of the things lined up right after I found them to turn them in.
We have Will back from his break, doing battle against Carrie. I don't think he's going to have any trouble against these. Of course, with class change, he's better equipped, and he also did a few late levels on Bridge of Destiny.
He does have 4 charges of fast there on the ninja, so that is extremely good to see.
Wow, sounds like Will did quite a bit more than I did.
Will more or less full cleared.
Well, they call him a legend, folks.
Indeed.
Well, there was no way you were getting glass change without full clearing.
Will has beat me 4 times in a row in practice, so this felt good today.
I mean, you two have a very storied history anyway of racing each other. It's been a
Stuff of
lot of
legends.
years. You beat me to it, Trenton.
It's good to do it again. It's good to be out here. It's good to see all the faces and the crew come together and enjoy putting on the show today. Thank you so much to OJ Machine for stepping up with RGL today. All the RGL staff, they've been so kind to us. Thank you, Trenton. Thank you, Sonny. Thank you, Shy.
No problem, Czar. Thank you for reaching out to me for doing commentary.
I thank you, Chad, for just chilling with us tonight. Fucking bubblegum and ice cream.
And cake. All sorts of food talk came up.
Well, it is an RPG speedrun.
That it is.
Did we catch Trenton crooning? Or did I miss it?
I threw in a baby shark. I also threw in an A-Team reference, but that's not really singing.
Yeah, he did throw in a good A-Team reference. All right, max evasion on Will's party definitely helps out here for the Kraken fight.
He's using the Vorpal in spirit.
Vorpal might have actually been better for this fight, to be completely honest, with how evasive Kraken 2 was. Oh, 4 hits, 1,028. That's some big damage.
Also, Zara, I was disappointed you didn't use Quake on either version of Lich.
I should have. I was feeling the pressure. I thought for sure I was behind. I was blundering on that airship.
Will had it a good 15 minutes before you, but... And he used it. He found stuff. It's just it wasn't the required stuff.
Yeah, because you hit all the required stuff, it all just ended up working out well. Tier 2 fight coming in for Will. Gonna start off in Invis 2s all the way. Lots of Invis 2 coming out. That's already 4 stacks on the party. Good old 160 evasion. Gonna go ahead and start fasting up both the knight and the ninja. That's 5 stacks plus 200 evasion. So if Tia melee, she's not gonna be hitting all that hard. Nor will she be hitting a lot. Block's gonna come out, reducing Tia's evasion. Saber. Oh, go ahead, Czar.
Better move with the lock. I was short on invis staffs coming into this fight. I had to compensate with a spell.
Yeah. It was a little unfortunate to see. Yes, making use of that lock most definitely is a veteran move. Gonna attempt to Bane. 5 hits, 616 coming out from that knight. Bane gonna be ineffective. I did also see an attempt at Brack. 13 hits for 1,053 from the ninja. Holy moly. And 7 hits, 877 is going to take down Tia 2.
Boss is only going to survive so many of those, and most importantly, here comes the victory lap. Well, thank
There it
you.
is.
Double whammy.
Abbreviated victory lap.
2 victory laps at that.
Still abbreviated, though. We did get a door glitch, though. Gotta respect that.
Oh, yeah. 2 abbreviated victory laps with a door glitch. There's a lot of respect in that. All right, and Vizzing up, getting the party's evasion set and ready to go. Lit 2 going to come out from Tia 2. Going to Saber up in Viz 2 again and drop one of the 2 fast charges that will be used. Saber comes out unless Slow 2 hits one of the fasted characters. Fifth stack of Invis up on all the characters. More Saber coming out. Going to use Heal 3. Fast up the Ninja now. At Saber, increasing accuracy as well as the damage output itself. A crit through evasion for 147. Not going to be anything to worry about. Going to attempt the Bane. I like this. 8 hits, 1073. Cure 4 going out on a Tia. Ineffective on the Bane. 5 hits, 770. That is it for carry 2. Just has the Tia 2 to deal with. Heal 3 going to come out as well as more Bane. Slow 2 hits the Knight. 6 hits, 762 coming out from the Ninja. Very nice to see. Gonna fast up the Knight again with the Ninja.
Gonna need 2 of them.
Only needs 1 because pre-fasted. And gonna attempt the Brack here. Ice 2
Always
coming
try
out.
Brack.
You gotta. You never know when you'll hit it.
I think he just used Lamp.
He did.
Classic
and I-
Will.
and I appreciate it. Lit 2 coming out doing nothing. Bane comes out, going to be ineffective. 5 hits, 386. Swing from the Ninja, 5 for 650. And it's just going to be swing, heal 3. Brack, 8 for 967. Broke it into pieces! There it is!
How you finish the night.
Wow.
Get your GGs out for Wilkliosis, finishing in 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 42 seconds.
What a stylish finish.
Nothing but style there.
I have something to say, but I'll wait till we drag Will in.
Styling and profiling.
Oh, yeah, always is.
Chad, are you not entertained?
Great finish to this race by Will.
So, Will, clearly, the power of the lamp spell is displayed.
But obviously, you lit up the room, right? And then you finished the game in style, broken into pieces.
We couldn't have asked for more.
The stylish finish from you, my friend. Always great to see.
I was sitting there, I was like, and I said, well, I lost, and I lost to one of my best friends, and that's okay. So let's finish it off. So, and you guys knew it was gonna hit. Both of you, everyone knew it was gonna hit.
Hey, since I know it was you, it was only a matter of time before it hit.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hi fans, thank you. RGL, Retro Gaming Live, thank you. Live TV, thank you for having us.
GG, Will. That was an awesome finish, man.
Hey, good games, Czar. Thank you.
You both put on an absolutely amazing game, and on top of that, these flags, I have a feeling these flags were an absolute blast to run.
I certainly had a good time with it. The first time I ran it, I had 2 hours and 40 minutes. Next one was 2:30. And then we played 3 practice games, all of which I won. 2:25, 2:09, and I think another 2:30. And sub 2, that was hot, man. Congratulations. Well run.
Clean routing paved the way, and good notes. You were way better prepared than I was. Higher levels, full invis staffs, class change. You must have covered so much more ground than I did.
I thought I had a good game, too. I did. I made a move right around I got in the air. I got in the air at the hour mark. And I made a move later on where I found that really deep dungeon that ended in the carry floor of the volcano. And I left. And I think I had exit at the time. No, I didn't. I think I had 1 or 2, but I didn't have warp at the time. And I looked at it and I'm like, and I hadn't found the marsh split yet. So I figured it was probably there, and I thought I would get myself in trouble, and I thought that might have propelled me because I felt the routing was really good. I thought I had a good game.
That one location was just so deep.
You did have a very good game, Will. The thing that put cZar so far ahead of you there was taking down the Fiends much earlier than you did, which, unfortunately, that's one of the biggest things that matters. But the advantage, and really it was a big advantage that you had over cZar, was that you found Bahamut.
Yeah, I found Bahamut pretty timely, too. It was past the rod block? Maybe the Q block? Rod block?
I thought it was past Ruby.
Was it the Ruby? Okay. I thought it was the rod block. I don't see taking down the Fiends early I don't see it as an advantage in this type of design, because if you can, well, I guess it's pretty similar because you have to route back to them. The time that you spend routing back to them and searching through notes to find out where they are, I guess could minimize it. But taking down Fiends early is, you're going to have extra turns and extra time to be used that I think adds up marginally more than to do that. Because when I go through and blow through on the Fiend Rush, I'm one round with them pretty much. Would be that's my opinion on that. But it's probably only marginally better.
Which is absolutely fair, and what I find to be a good opinion on it. It's really both ways of going about it, excluding Tia's spot because required Warmech. You could play it either way, and I think you know well enough personally I would have played it more the way that you did.
Yeah. I'm assuming cZar had the Mystic Key before me and took the lead and never gave it up.
I don't
Pretty
think
close to each other, as I recall.
Yeah, I think
You were farming for the money at the same time.
I had to do a desperation grind to get the key. I ended up grinding in the desert with Manticores and Wyverns.
Yeah, I went to Tiamat's floor.
Which, Will, that was a beautiful play going to Tia's floor, fighting that fighter off power cycle, netting 6,000 gold per encounter while it had a fairly low health pool.
That's a veteran move for sure. Well done play there.
May have lost, but I proved Wukleosa still has the magic of the Brack, and I was going to get that thing too.
Still has the magic, you never lost it.
Thank you, Sonny. Thank you. If Shalazy is still here, thank you for doing the show.
And of course, the real winner is the friends we made along the way.
Heck yeah.
So I do want to ask one more question to both of you. Was there any worry when you saw that the alt final boss was Double Dragon, knowing that Carry 2 had Cure 4?
That would be a yes for me.
I don't think I saw that. If I did, I wasn't paying attention because I was already lost. So, I was just having fun trying to brack people, enemies, people standing in the way of the orbs, trying to stop the Light Warriors 2,000 years in the past. So I really wasn't paying attention, but I knew Czar had already finished, and so I knew he was trying to beat me into Temple of Fiends Revisited, and he was going to try to outrush me. I figured that's what he might do, and that's what he did, and he got through. So I figured he beat me at probably level 36, maybe something along the lines. So if he did it, I could probably do it.
It was right along those lines. I think I was 35 or 36 with the party. I took encounters going down Temple because I wanted to make sure that I didn't wipe.
Yeah, I think you finished at 35, Czar.
Thought about that eye grind. I went to discover Castle of Ordeals and I saw, ooh, there's the eye. I was tempted by it, but when you're racing the legend, you got to put the pedal to the metal.
There was a blue dragon off the first hit of the first floor Q block. Blue dragon was in its original position. I thought about that too, but I was going to try to rush it. I wanted to hit Temple of Fiends right around the 2-hour mark, and I figured it'd probably take me 10 to 12 minutes. I figured I'd be right around the 2:10 mark, and that's pretty much where I was without the messing around. Showing the Vorpal. You see the white mage? You see Moist Mogwai? Another legend.
I saw that.
Throwing the Vorpal. Look at this.
Good old Mama Duck.
These flags have just struck such a good balance and for veteran runners, and it seems to be able to give commentators plenty of opportunities to tell a good story as well. So I'm glad they delivered, and it was an exhilarating race. It's been a lot of fun practicing as well. Where to go from here? There are discussions with RGL that we might move to a bi-seasonal format where we have 2 races every season, but we shall have to see. What do you think, chat? Would you be into that?
Yeah, kind of the original idea that we had that me and Zara talked about was a quarterly sort of thing, which is pretty much what we're doing. Being that a lot of us are either semi-retired or almost fully retired, and we're looking at a legend sort of thing, well-known names on YouTube that you can search and you'll find large amount of views, large amount of YouTube comments. From whether it's the shows, whether it's the players, whether it's Baning Chaos, and so we'd like to keep it to that more than likely.
The mastermind over there apparently has been brainstorming, and when the mastermind starts brainstorming, creative and wonderful things happen.
Yeah, players like Brodster. I certainly have Brodster. The Hangry Canuck, Mr. I'm 3-0, almost 4-0, sometimes 4-0 every single spring tournament all the years. Of course, the main gig of this game and what made it so popular and so strong so many years ago with its viewership and its interactivity, its new player program and everything, and how strong the game was. Those names that carried it, that led it, that played it, that volunteered, individuals like Trenton, Nitz, so many other names that I probably shouldn't say any because it's disrespectful to really say a name and not give credit to a Meridian BC or in so many other names from the past.
There are many that have come before us that have created this thing that we all enjoy called Final Fantasy Rando. And indeed, there are too many to name, but they should all be acknowledged and given their recognition and their due. The devs have done such wonderful work to make this a robust and enjoyable Rando.
There have been so many people in the past. I mean, another one that I can remember that I learned a lot from. I think you'll know, I think all 4 of you in here will know exactly whom it is as soon as I say the name. Artea taught me a lot too.
Artea.
Oh, wow. That's a player right there. Tristal
saw him.
MTG. Oh gosh,
Yes,
Tristal MTG would be
Tristal.
mine as well. I think the best pure game player I've ever seen play. Tristal MTG. It still plays every now and then. I've seen him once or twice this year, and I don't hop around much. And Artea certainly one of them as well.
I saw Tristal and Artea within the past couple days, so they're still out here.
It always makes me happy to see a lot of you legends that help pave the way for a lot of the runners, inspired a lot of the runners, myself included, when I came around in 2018, to not only play but try to do what we can to get better.
Another thing I think here on RGL is you're going to get with the whole Legends idea. You're getting really good television. You're getting knowledge, education. You're getting fun. You're getting excitement. You're getting difficulty. You're getting struggles. We try to stay away from things that are easy, things that hand everything. We don't really like anything quick. We don't we want something to be difficult. We want someone to struggle. We want Czar to perish in the Temple of Fiends to get the underdog to come back, and we try to tell that story. Unfortunately, that didn't happen today, so Czar will move on as the reigning champion. Congratulations again.
Thank you. As an interim champ, now I can say that it's legit, and I look forward to the next opponent, who will be the #1 contender, yet to be determined by the community. With this performance, it could very well be Will. We might have a rematch.
I do have to start wrapping it up on my end. So Czar and Will, thank you for a great show. Sonny, thank you. Been so much fun to hang out with you. Shy, appreciate you tracking. OJ, thank you for putting the production together. And chat, thank you to each and all of you for hanging out with us tonight, having a little fun.
Trenton, thanks for being in here with me for this. It's been an absolute blast. It's been way too long since we've been in the booth together.
We love you, Trenton. We want you on the next show.
Thank you, Trenton. We'll work together.
But yeah, I don't have anything else that I can think of to add. Czar, Will, do either of you have anything else you want to add before I say we give the channel back to RGL?
I'll let Will close it out. I just want to express my humble gratitude again to the entire RGL staff, who has been nothing but very helpful in communication and very descriptive in helping us set up and restream. Thank you, chat, for coming out and watching our show today. Thank you, Will, for an awesome race. Trenton, Shy, OJ, and I look forward to presenting more of Final Fantasy Randomizer matches for everyone in the future.
Thank you, Shalasia. Thank you, OJ. Sonny, thank you. Trenton GL, thank you for everything you've done for me. I've always said this, and to me, it's about the fans. When I stream on Twitch, you can't donate to me. You can't subscribe to me. I'm not interested. I want you to have a good time, and I want to have a good time. It's not about winning or losing. It's not about anything like that. It's about having fun. It's about having a good time. And in a post race like this, where you lose, it's okay, as long as you had a good time. The second you're not having a good time, you're not enjoying it, time to move on, and that's okay. Until next time on Final Fantasy Randomizer, remember, fans, revive the power of the orbs.
Vorpal? Great target incoming.